So what is the business model? This is the most important component of the business plan. You will have to uh, analyze the business model with your proposed business. So business model has several canvases. Especially there are 9 canvases. Let's see one by one. What is a business model? Business model, uh, it's a the theme that many of us frequently use. That when you consider this business model, that is a term that many of us frequently use. But some of you may not understand properly about the business model. So, but we do really understand business model well enough. Otherwise, we will have some difficulties while we are going to function our business. So, what actually is a business model? You can tell what actually a business model. It's describe the rationale of how an organization creates, deliver, and capture values. This is very, very important. This is a rationale of how an organization creates as well as deliver and capture the values. For an example, if you have a certain product or services, and how do you give the features, how do you deliver the features to the customers? So you have to have a channel to that one. And also, and the business plan explain all these things in detail. Let's see, a business model includes 9 basic building blocks. It consists of 9 basic building blocks, not only one. There are 9 building blocks, each of which may have equal importance for the business plan. Let's see one by one. One is the customer segment. When you are going to develop the product or service, first of all, you have to understand to whom you are going to create the values. To whom you are going to create the value, who are the most important customers. Then, for an example, customer segments can be divided as teenagers, or else adults, and uh, babies under 5, or else geological demographic factors, or the geological factors you can use to understand the customer segment. For an example, you can have the high end customers. If you have a certain very well matured product, and you can select your customer segment. So after deciding the customer segment, you have to analyze the buying power of the customer. What are the buying power? How much they spend? If you are going to sell this product in this price, how many customers? How many? How many percentage of customers will accept that? If those percentage accept, and what would be the revenue, and from that what would be the profit. Likewise, you can make an estimation using the customer segment. So that the most important part is to decide the customer segment uh, for your product or service. Next one is value proposition. What is this value proposition? Is the what value to do you deliver to the customer? So what are the, if the customer buy this product, what is the value of that product uh, to him? Which one of your customers problems you are helping to solve? If there is a certain problem to the customer, unsatisfied or unmet need from your product or service, can it be solved? So you have to understand, you have to analyze it, and which customer need uh, are you satisfying. So which customer need, so there is a if there is any need from the customers, then your product or service could satisfy these needs, and what bundle of products and services are you offering to each customer segment. So then you have to understand the product and the value that you are going to create, whether it value will help for the customers unmet or unsatisfied need. So second one is the value proposition. Third one is the channels. So you have to deliver the product characteristics to the customers as well as the physically you will have to deliver the product to the customers. I will tell you one example. Nearly 5-6 years before, one multinational company in Sri Lanka, uh, introduced a certain cracker, cheese cracker. So then they had a gala event, having a huge uh, event for launching that product. And in that time, I remember all the TV channels telecasted, and radio FM companies also broadcasted that event simultaneously. Then after that, the next day when the customers went to the uh, shop to buy that, the product was not there. So completely failed, because customers were frustrated. So they had the gala event and the massive event to launch that product, and the next day when they go to the market, the product was not in the market. So when you have to deliver the product characteristics as well as the products in the right time to the market and the customers. So through which channels do you customer segment want to be reached? So you have to select to deliver the product characteristics the right channel. Sometimes if you if you don't have a high marketing budget, you will have to use the guerrilla marketing techniques to I will explain the what is guerrilla marketing in the marketing lecture. Then you can use the low cost solution to deliver the product characteristics to the customer. How are you reaching them now? How are your channels integrated? Which one of work best? Which ones are most cost effective? How are you integrating them with the customer routines? So when you consider the channels, actually nowadays Facebook campaign as well as email campaigns are very cheap and cost effective, and you can get the high advantages. So not only that, but there are several low cost solutions to deliver the product characteristics to the customer, and as well as whenever the customer need to use your product or buy your product, there must have a proper channel to send the products or services to the customers. Nowadays, you know that there are different online shopping channels, as well as you can use different courier services, and in the courier services also you have heard different courier services, and cash on demand services also there. That means when the product is handed over to the customer will pay the the transportation fee plus the product fee. So likewise, nowadays very convenient for the customers to deliver that then he can use different channels. Next one is customer relationships. Customer relationship is very important. So what is this customer relationship? So after the after sales services is one of the good channel for that one. What type of relationships does each of my customer segment expect us to establish and maintain with them? So normally the customer relationship, different companies use the different methods. So I will explain one thing. When I recently I bought a air condition machine. So that company gives me a call once in a month and asks if there is anything to the condition of that, and also once in 6 months time one technician comes to my place and repair, not the repair, actually service it. So likewise they are going to build the customer services. From this customer service, the client and the company can build a good relationship. Also provide the help desk by providing the help desk. And help desk also, if you are help desk can be provided in different ways. Recently we developed a software for the help desk for one electrical compliances company, one of the company not in Sri Lanka, in a foreign country, and they wanted to have a mobile app for their client, to give their clients to submit the support tickets or the claims about their products. If it happens, if those products have a certain problem, they can easily send the message to the company, and also they can send the voice messages, images about that product, and also they can send the pin of the place where the customer is, the customer's place. Then soon after it gets from the company direct to that message to the related technicians, the technicians who are in nearby that client's place, and the technician will attend to that one, and after completing he has to send a message, the completion message. Likewise, the companies may have different ways to provide the services. By providing those services, you can build a good relationship. Another example is, I know one company, that also a company, they provide different facilities, like provide the magazines, send the magazines every month. Those magazines, the content of those magazines are some of the important information of their lives, and arrange some workshops and another one, when you consider the company like Microsoft, how they keep the customers as long as they can. They want to keep their Microsoft operating systems and the product users as long as they can. How can they keep that one? They are going to change, update their software once in 3 years time, adding some new features. So they are going to launch the product in the market. So those who are using the product will not go away from those products, and they use the users get those products. So likewise, the different businesses use the different methods to keep the customers as long as they can. Next one is revenue stream. So for what value are we customers really willing to pay? For what do they currently pay, and how are they currently paying? How would they prefer to pay? How much does each revenue stream contribute to overall revenues? You know that the product, when you get the product has the cost plus the profit. So when you price the product, you will have to analyze all the substitute prices of the similar products. And normally we call, when you are going to price, you will have to be in the ballpark. If you are away from the ballpark, you will not be able to get the advantages of selling the product. That ballpark means if the product has the price range, when for an example, get the water bottle. Now you know that 500 milliliter water bottle is near around 30 to 35 rupees. 1 liter bottle is around 50 to 60. So what would happen if you are going to bottle the water and sell it to the customers? When you analyze, you can see that there may have a potential to enter to the market. Then you are going to sell your 500 milliliter bottle for say 60 rupees, and 1 liter bottle for 100 rupees. The customers will not buy your product. You can add a certain small amount, and in that also you have to justify why you are having this amount. Otherwise, you will have some difficulties to sell it. So always when you price the product, you will have to be in the ballpark. That means you will have to match the prices of your product with the similar products. And also you have to provide more benefits of using your product than the others. So revenue stream also, when you decide, you have to analyze, you have to make a costing. And costing, that means the direct cost and indirect cost is there, and the direct cost, the raw material and labor charges and other things. And indirect cost also there may have some indirect cost. And also you can add the profit on top of that. How much profit you are going to add? 10%, 10% or 15% or something like that. You have to decide according to a company policy or your business policy. You can add that one, and you can calculate the revenue and the break even of that one. If you want to have the profit, you have to sell. You can calculate that how many items or how many products or how many services or software, if it is a software solution, how many solutions you will have to sell. And if a certain amount, after the certain amount sell, above that amount, you can get the profit. So revenue stream also, calculating the revenue stream also very, very important. So you have to in your business model, you can calculate and also see whether how they are currently paying, the customers, how they are going to playing, and which ones have we established, and how costly are they. So when you are going to I will explain in the marketing lecture the how to decide the price of the product or services. Till then, you have to think that when you are going to price the product, you will have to analyze the customer's buying power, the similar products of the market, and always keep the value in that ballpark. Next, revenue stream, and also next one is key resources. What are the key resources? Key resources. What key resources do our value propositions require? Our distribution channels, customer relationship, revenue stream. So, what are the key resources? You will have to have a certain key resources to make a success of your product or service. One is your distribution channel, and also your promotional channel. The product and product, you have to give the product characteristics. You have to deliver the product characteristics to the customers. So what are the channels and how efficient those channels, and customer relationships, and these each of these the deliver product each of these I explained before, that is revenue stream and customer relationship and channels. Those what we call the canvassers need the key resources. For an example, the channels, you have to decide which one is the best one, which one is the most profitable one and for your business, and whether your product characteristics and the physically products can be delivered to the customer in time. Likewise, you will have to analyze these key resources. Next one is key activities. What are the key activities? What key activities do your value proposition require? The value proposition is this value proposition here. Second one, the value proposition is what value do we deliver to the customers, and here this key activities means what key activities do your value proposition require. So you can think that each canvases are interconnected. These canvases are interconnected each other. So our distribution channels, customer relationships and revenue streams. So key activities, how these other canvases work for the company. For an example, distribution channels, how that work, what would be the most effective as well as the cost effective channel. So when there are some companies they do the businesses only delivering. The customers will not come to the company. They can they can place the order through the internet and pay for the product or services through the credit cards, or else they will ask to send the products and pay for the courier services likewise. And in such case, they mentions in their order, they mention that we are in the home from 6 after 6 on weekdays. So please deliver the product Wednesday 6:30 or Friday 6:30. Likewise, they will mention the time and the date. In such case, the distribution channels must distribute that product the time and the date mentioned by the customer. So likewise, we have to understand these key activities, the efficiency of the key activities, the customer relationships, what relationships the customer need. Normally, after receiving the product or services, so you know that when you get a call from the WhatsApp, they will ask to rate the conversation, whether that WhatsApp provided us the better service. You can use the star marks, 5 or 6 star marks, and you can mark. If you are satisfied, you can mark 4 or 5 or 6. how they are going to, that also analyze the efficiency, and if if there are some failures, they want to develop that one. That's why they always analyze these key activities: customer relationships and revenue streams. Next one is key partners. Who are the key partners? Who who are our key partners? Who are our key suppliers? The partners are the raw material suppliers, as well as the basically banks also, financial institutes that provide some short-term and long-term loans to the company, and they are the partners. They are normally called the stakeholders, and also the customers also one of the good stakeholder, and the customers provide some feedback of the product or the service. Who are our key partners? Who are our key suppliers? Which key resources are we acquiring from them, and which activities do partners perform? When you write the business plan, you will have to write who are the raw material suppliers, or the who are the, if it is a IT company, consider who are the key partners. Partners, sometimes the companies that provide the different services. For an telco company, provide the facility of the internet and other things, and you have to have a good relationship with them, and otherwise you will not be able to go to the expected target. So the final one is cost structure. What are the most important cost inherent on our business model? Which key resources are most expensive? Which key activities are most expensive? You have to think when you are going to analyze the cost structure of the product. You will have to analyze the development cost, as well as advertising cost, and also advertising and marketing cost, and also delivering cost. Everything you will have to analyze and see whether your business is profitable or not. This is the business model address each and every component of the business. So that's why there is a saying that Medico product with the great business model is more profitable than Medico great product with Medico business model. That means the great business model. If you have a great business model, that means addressing all these canvases. If you prepare a business model, it will be more profitable than the great product or service. So then once again I will revise these 9 canvases. First one is the customer segment. Next, value proposition, channels, customer relationships, revenue streams, key resources, key activities, and key partners, and finally cost structure. So you will have to analyze all those 9 canvases and prepare a good business model for your business. Sometimes you have to integrate not only one business model available in using now. You will have to integrate or 2 or 3 business model and prepare a good one for your businesses. You have seen that the same models there are some companies, if I tell the Dell or else the HP companies, they are the giants of selling the computers on internet. So not only they have the highly advanced and sophisticated web page, and the customers can purchase by customizing the computers, and also they have sole agents all over the world. In different countries may have different sole agents. That, that means they are using not only one business model but also the combination integrated model to make their business a success. Here is the uh, complete business model and nice big picture of the business. You see it now. It's let's turn this concept into a useful tools. Here you can see this one once again, 9 business models and key partners, customer segment, customer relationships, channels, revenue stream, first, then key activities, key resources, cost structure, and key partners. So, so that is actually very, if you analyze in such a way, you will not be have the failures of your business. And we call this tool the business model canvases. So we can call them the business model canvases, and you can get your free poster version online. Actually, here this business model canvases. So let's see the game changes in the world. By introducing the World Wide Web, WWW, as well as open source softwares and the LAMP structure. Those who are in the IT and the IT, ICT, and they know what is this LAMP structure, PHP, Apache, and MySQL, as well as cloud computing. These 4 things change the generations and introduce the e-marketing and the e-commerce by creating some online marketing channels. When you consider the this actually this can be applied for the not the actually this technology can apply for අනේ ඔක නවත්තන්නකෝ වින්දෝ ඕක නවත්තන්න ඇහෙන්නේ හරි this technology can apply not only for the ICT but also for the AT and IAT as well as ET for market their products and services. Okay. Okay, next. Let's see, we'll explain later this one. What is the business model enabled? Actually, Amazon.com. Let's see, Amazon. So, you can see that the Amazon logo, there is an arrow from A to Z. That means they are going to sell everything. We sold more books today that didn't sell at the yesterday than we sold today of all books that did sell yesterday. So the when you analyze the Amazon business model and the Amazon business, they are the first introduce online bookshops, and not only that, the Amazon web services. Those who have used this one, they know well about this AWS. They are normally called the early birds catch the worm. They come to the market earlier than the others, so that they could get the advantage of that. And next one, Netflix also. Netflix members love watching instantly, but uh, we have come to organize. There is still a very large continuing demand for DVDs by mails. So this is all another company that made a success of the business, self services, operations officers, and other things. Let's So then another business model we can see the free plus premium, freemium. You can when you see the Skype, when it introduced to the market, first they introduced the free of charge component, and as well as if you that free of charge telephone calls, voice messages, and then they limit to that one to the 2 minutes or 3 minutes. And if the clients or if the users want to use more than that they provide, they will have to pay. Likewise, in their business model, you can find the free and also premium means you have to pay for someone. Pay if you want to continue this one. And also when you have seen there are some softwares also. They provide the limited features free of charge, and if you want to use with other features, you will have to pay for that other features. That also one good business model to get the customers, and they are going to provide some key features only. And if they want to use more advanced features, that they have to pay. So give your service away from for free possibility and support, but maybe not. And this is freemium soft. Normally we can find these freemium software and Pandora freemium services. These are the LinkedIn. You know that LinkedIn is one of the I think you also may have may have an account in the LinkedIn that is connected all the scholars and the employers together. And if you see the LinkedIn Learning is a different platform having some video lessons for most of the subjects. But if you want to use it, you will have to pay. So LinkedIn also you can find the free of charge component plus paid component. And virtual goods also, another one is short shut out for non-tech innovative business model. IKEA. So what is that? This is also when you read about this IKEA, first they have a certain slogan, do it by yourself. And if you want to consider that, if you want to buy a cupboard, so you can buy a cupboard, then IKEA provide the cupboard, the all the component of the cupboard and pack in one cardboard box. And when you open them, they provide the instructions to create fix the cupboard. They will provide everything, nails and everything they will provide with the instruction chart. And by reading that instruction, you can fit the items together and create the cupboard. That very cheap, and the customer can make this one. If you order by, they also provide these IKEA products through the internet. So you can buy everything. That means the house appliances, household appliances like the wooden cupboards, chairs, as well as the furniture, especially furniture from this IKEA. IKEA also one of the good business model in the world now. So here you can see co-opt customers to provide key activities to improve the value propositions. So they provide the items like this with the instruction, and the customer has to create that item by following the instructions. When you These are some of the business models that the companies use. So new model for the partnering. Amazons have these things, and we'll